Hello, everyone. I'm Adam with Demiplane. Thank you for joining me for this end of the month is what I meant to say. End of the month development update and community Q&A session. I do these more than monthly, so I don't know why that slipped out like that. So this week's development update and community Q&A session, we got so much going on here at Demiplane. Exciting times. It is busy, but we sure do love what we're working on, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about that today. So I am going to talk about, as always, our latest updates, what we have been working on, if we have pushed anything out in the last week, what we're currently working on, and then a look ahead just barely into the future about what is on deck and what we would work on next after the things that are currently on our plate are completed, and some other special things today. As always, you can ask questions, and all you have to do is there in the Twitch chat, just type the word question and then follow that with the question itself, and our magical demibot will be collecting those. And looking forward to whatever we have today. It's the end of the month, so if there are questions, this is a great time to ask them, because I at least try to carve out a little bit of extra time for additional questions. So I will just more or less keep going until I've got all those questions answered today. So it's a great time for you to ask those. And then from there, we also have something very special that we would like to do today. We are looking at Vampire the Masquerade Nexus's character tools that are coming very soon, and we are working on those right now. I can't wait. I'll show you a little bit of it. We'll click around for a little bit here in just a moment, but we are getting ready to kind of move to the last steps of the character sheets, which are theming. And so if you've seen this on Avatar Nexus or on Pathfinder Nexus, you know that the character sheet themes are something fun that you get to customize with your character. And so one of the things that we would like to do here today, we did this with Pathfinder when we launched the character tools, but I thought that we would do it a little bit more ahead of time this time. And I would like for you to, possibly throw out some ideas for things that you would like to see for character sheet themes for Vampire the Masquerade. So if you have an idea for a theme that you would like to potentially see in Vampire the Masquerade Nexus when the character builder and sheet are released here in a couple of months, then let us know about it. And the way to do that, just where our moderators can help collect these, is type the word theme and then follow that with whatever your theme concept is, and we will collect those and throw those into a poll of some sort, and you can vote on the poll, and then we will see what comes out on top a little bit later in the stream. So if you've got those theme ideas, then have at it. Otherwise, we're going to jump into our updates here today. All right, let's see. Latest updates. Demiplane membership. This is something, wow, I'm losing my voice. I didn't know I was losing my voice. I think I'm only losing my voice as of today. I don't think I've been talking too much, but we're going to get through this. We're going to power through. Demiplane membership. This is incoming likely this week, but we've seen many of you asking for this. This is a way that you can subscribe annually and be able to save 20% on the subscription for Demiplane. Now, remember, the subscription allows you to do some pretty epic things like create unlimited characters across the various games that we support, which is growing all the time and is going to continue to grow for a long time. So unlimited characters, but also content sharing that allows you to share any content that you've unlocked across Demiplane with up to 24 people. So this is a huge deal. It's normally $4.99 a month. You can get an annual subscription and save 20% doing that. So that's going to be available. So you would be able to, change that over when you're current billing cycle is completed if you're already a subscriber, or otherwise if you've been waiting on that specifically to take the plunge, you'll be able to do that pretty soon here. Pathfinder Nexus tonight, so this will be tonight at midnight Pacific. We are going to have the next installment of Sky King's Tomb, which is Cult of the Cave Worm. I love seeing the titles that Paizo puts on Pathfinder and Starfinder products, and that one is immediately evocative to me. It's interesting already before even diving into the adventure. But Cult of the Cave Worm tonight, and then we are going to have two of the first two Pathfinder Society, the current or the new season that is kicking off here, Year of Unfettered Exploration. So those will be live tonight around midnight Pacific, and we're excited to get those couple of things out. Also incoming, we've got some custom lore skill fixes and a variety of other bug fixes for Pathfinder that are going to be part of this release. And then we are continuing to work on the big core remaster updates. And of course, those are currently targeted. Those books are currently targeted for November. And I'm saying currently, nothing has changed with that, but I know that they backed up, about a month before at some point. But we are going to have things ready by November when those release. Avatar Legends. For that, we are working on Republic City. We should have some news on that probably by next week, even on exactly when that is coming. We are working with Magpie to figure out exactly when the digital release date will be for Demiplane there. And then on the Marvel Multiverse RPG, the core rulebook is live. And I just mentioned that because, again, this is the full game now. We are no longer in the playtest. This is the full game, and character tools are incoming, and we're really excited about how those are coming together. We'll take another quick look at those character tools here in just a moment. We'll continue on with Vampire Nexus, the character tools. We are getting deep into the process here, and things are starting to come together. We will click around there in a moment as well. 5e Nexus, let's see, is that next? Yeah, I guess. Let me make sure that I'm gonna look at a calendar here. I'm really bad at looking at a calendar and like understanding when something's happening. So yeah, 9/5, that is next Tuesday. So next Tuesday, we will have 5e Nexus live in early access. So again, this is going to be 5e Nexus with the early access features of the digital reader and the game compendium. So all of that will be live next week. Really looking forward to some great publishing partners that we're going live with. The SRD will be fully browsable and explorable, so you'll be able to get into that. And then we have Tome of Beast 1 and 2 from Kobold Press. We are trying to work on the latest, greatest for Tales of the Valiant. We are actually trying to get the latest file for that. So that one is in a little bit of danger of not quite being ready for Tuesday. But as long as we can get the file here in the next day or two, we're going to do everything we can to have that one up. If it's not there on 9/5, as soon as we get the file from Kobold Press, we will get that one up very quickly as well. There's just been a lot of different releases for Tales of the Valiant because it is in an iterative design process right now. And so what we currently have completed for that is already pretty outdated. And so we're trying to get the latest, greatest and work with Kobold Press to do that. So, but either way, the Tales of the Valiant Alpha release should be up very soon if it is not next Tuesday. And then on the Ghostfire Gaming front, we love their products. You see some beautiful Ghostfire art there with my buddy, the Werewolf. But Ghostfire, we have the Grim Hollow Monster Grimoire that is going to also be available. And then we have one other publisher that we will talk about more when we release this on Tuesday. Children of Erte, there is a new episode tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific, and we are in a very creepy place that I will freely admit might have, generated a nightmare or two from me this last week. So thanks for that, Deborah. But I am really excited to see what happens and what unfolds in the new story episode tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific. And then character tools roadmap, nothing has changed with the roadmap. This is what we're marching after. Can't wait to see things like Alien coalesce and come together. Very excited about the path ahead there. All right, let's look at a couple of just little peeks at what is going on with the Marvel character builder and the not the digital sheet today. It's still not pretty enough for you to see, but we're looking at the character builder for Marvel here first. You'll be able to, of course, create your own character. We had some questions about that after the screenshot, that I shared the other day. You'll be able to, of course, go in here and browse everything that's going on with, the various characters. This is, of course, work in progress. I already see that something is going amiss over here that we will get straightened out. But all of this allows you to browse characters and select. We will, of course, select Daredevil. But as you get into the character builder here, you can change things like the name. The biography section will allow you to choose the different origins that are available in the game. So we are going to be a Skrull, because everybody is a Skrull nowadays, and that's the cool thing to be. But all of the information that you might want to see is just kind of right there, at your fingertips. Traits, you can add as many tags as you would like as well here. I'm going to say that I am an amphibious Skrull, so all of those are here too. And then powers, this screen isn't completed for sure, but we're getting into all of this where you can see everything going on with powers, and then go through and select the different powers. As I said, this one isn't quite done, but all of this coming together for Marvel. We likewise have this coming together for Vampire. I am really stoked about everything that's happening with Vampire here. It's going to make it so easy to play this game. And you can see with this character, I have already selected Gangrel because that is the right answer. But all of that is here. When it comes to your attributes and skills, you're able to come in and select the different placements as you're going through character creation. So all of that is available here. I can change to a balanced skill or a specialist skill here. You're able to choose your skills for your specialties. So let's find a skill here. Let's do athletics. I always love doing that. And so you can do athletics for your specialty. And we will say, let's see, what hardcore parkour is going to be our specialty. Disciplines and powers, same thing. You can come through and do your placement of what you would like to do here. It allows you to select your various powers here. So sense the beast. So all of that is something that you can fill in. Of course, all of the concept and lore area is incredibly important in this game. So all of that will be available here. And then on the progression front, we can come in and let's see, actually, let me add a little bit more experience here. So we've got a little bit of experience by changing my age there. But on the physical front, I can, buy new attributes. Same thing with all of those things. We've got our blood potency. I don't have enough experience to increase that because I've already got it at 3 for this character. But ultimately, all of these things available that you can jump through the character builder and be able to output this into your digital sheet. And I hope you've been giving some theme concept ideas for your character sheets out there. Looking forward to seeing what comes in there. But little peek at Vampire and Marvel, and kind of to show everyone that it is not vaporware. It is getting very, very close to completed here, and we're really looking forward to getting these out into your hands. We are really looking forward to what this is going to mean for these games. And the accessibility that it will provide for these great games that we are supporting. All right, I think it is time for a giveaway now. So we are giving, I failed to mention this at the beginning, but we are giving away a Vampire Nexus Ultimate Bundle today. So hopefully you've been paying attention to all those prompts in chat, but it's time to do that giveaway, and good luck to everyone out there. And then finally, we are going to transition to questions. Yep, we're gonna read out the options on the poll here as well. It'll be up for 3 minutes. So the poll will be up for 3 minutes here at the start of questions, and we'll see what comes out on top for the Target Vampire the Masquerade Nexus digital character sheet theme. So here we go. Here are the options: Mardi Gras, Blood in the Water, Teeth, Catacombs, and Masquerade Ball. Ooh, I like a lot of those. I'm the one that has to put these themes together, and all of those sound intriguing to jump into. And the Teeth one really threw me for a little bit of a loop there. That was a curveball, but yeah. I guess I could come up with some ideas there. But yeah, those sound like great options. So vote in the poll that I think is going on in chat. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but going on in chat, and we'll see what we get. I've got a few questions in the question bot here, but if you have others, by all means, feel free to ask those now. Just type the word question and then follow that by the question itself. And I've got plenty of time to do those here today. So if you've been on the edge of asking one that you haven't asked before, by all means, feel free to do so here today, because we've got the time. All right, first one here. Ethior, the stream intro music reminded me a bit of The Expanse. Any chance we see The Expanse RPG on Demiplane in the future? The Expanse is my favorite science fiction television show, probably of all time. It's all time calls are hard to do sometimes, because it's the whole Michael Jordan versus LeBron James thing. As objectively as possible, Michael Jordan was a better player than LeBron James, but everyone has seen LeBron James for 20 years now, and they haven't seen Michael Jordan for over 20 years. And so it's like that recency bias and everything comes in there. And so it's very, very difficult to, it's very difficult to say what is my favorite of all time. But I do believe that if I had to provide an answer for that question, I would say The Expanse is my favorite, science fiction television show ever. Love the books as well, and so I'm a huge fan of The Expanse. And having said all that, we don't have any news to share at that about that right now. But it is something that I certainly would not be opposed to, and I would love to see it in the future. So we'll see what happens there. Calexis 1986, appreciate it's not the highest priority, but is there any news on when the Pathfinder Nexus will support Json Export, my group games online? And once that comes, I expect the whole group to start working in Demiplane. It is, it's not the highest priority, but it is one of the higher priorities that we imagine that we will, really start digging into, soonish. Our platform team, it's one of the next bigger priorities that we have in front of us here, and so I expect. Again, it's hard to put dates on anything, but I certainly expect that we will see. And again, I'm not going to sit here and say that it's going to be JSON export. It absolutely might end up being that, but I don't want to dictate what that technical solution is going to be, but the ability to export, import, API into different kinds of other platforms out there. That is something that is one of the higher priorities that we will be looking at, and I expect that we will see something. We'll roughly say next year. It wouldn't surprise me if it was the first half of next year. But again, can't really hold me to that. We haven't dug into it enough yet, but it is actually one of the next priorities that we will be looking at. St. Dormatius, any ETA on formulas rolling out for Pathfinder 2 character sheets? We started looking at that more in depth yesterday. So that is on that beta short-term roadmap. And so it is one of the next bigger rocks that we are looking at. So I don't know when it's going to roll out, but we have started the process. Whereas before it was waiting on that list on the roadmap. So the process is started on formulas, and we're going to be working on that in the coming weeks. I'll provide more updates as we have them. Marshall Marshes, how is everything going over at Demiplane? Everything's wonderful. As I said before, busy, but it is a fun kind of busy. UK Haiku, are you planning to bring on some of the team soon for Q&As, etc.? Potentially. Not everyone. Not everyone enjoys doing this. Many of our team members that would be really, really great at answering a lot of these questions perhaps don't want to be on camera. And of course, we're going to respect those wishes. So there are definitely some potential opportunities for that. But yeah, it's with that busyness that I referred to before, this is one of the things that I carve out where the rest of the team can continue doing all the great work that is going on. Dr. Astartes, are y'all going to make digital character sheets for other World of Darkness campaigns? Yes, we are. We're going to be doing character management tools for Hunter and Werewolf. So at the moment, it is, restricted to the V5 storyteller games, but we are doing this for Hunter and Werewolf for certain, and we'll have more news on that before too much longer. Emperor Pravis, I know an app is a distant future, but are you guys planning on making the character builder on mobile better? Yeah, I mean we're making everything better. We're focused on making everything better. So what you see for Pathfinder in beta is certainly not done, especially from a performance perspective. But we are also we are not looking at a native mobile app at the moment. We are really committed to making the mobile browser experience as great as it can be, and we believe that builders in particular, when you come all the way down to phone sizes, are a challenge in a lot of ways. We think that we're going to make it about as good as it can be on a phone. For the builder experience, the sheet's a little bit of a different story. We think that we can do a really great job with the sheet, but we're not currently looking at a native mobile app. There are a variety of reasons that I've talked about in the past on that, so I won't rehash those all right here. But we are very dedicated to making it as great as it can be on mobile browsers. And once we exit beta and get everything where it needs to be, it should be a great experience. Marshall Marshes, does Demiplane have a Discord? Yes. If someone hasn't shared the link to that in chat already, then maybe we can refresh that. But we definitely have a Discord, and we've got people chatting around frequently in there, and I will drop in, and some of the other members of the team. We definitely have a presence on our Discord server, so feel free to check that out. Revos1, if you could combine all games, what systems would you combine, and what character would you make out of it? That's a big question. Yeah, I definitely like what I guess people have sometimes disparagingly labeled storyteller or storytelling games. So this is going to be something closer to Powered by the Apocalypse, and even your zero engine kind of games. People sometimes lump those in there. Cortex is another example of that. So I really like a lot of those systems. Big fan of Powered by the Apocalypse for what it is going to prompt, during role playing. Especially playing with experienced players out there, and so I'm a big fan of that. But I also certainly like some of the mechanical. Again, I kind of hate these labels, but we'll say crunch because you're going to know what I mean by that. And so. I think it's tough for me to say how those things would combine, because I think that systems that are combining those things are kind of hard to come by out there. I will say that again, I'm not going to play favorites here, but I will say that I'm a big fan of Free League and what they do, because for me personally, that is a really good combination of the storytelling aspect of that, and a little bit more of that mechanical complexity. So big fan of the year's Zero Engine and what Free League is putting out there. As far as characters, that is really hard to say, but I would say that the types of characters that I look to play or enjoy playing, I always enjoy playing characters that are very chaotic. So I like that. There's a lot of chaos in my life, but a lot of my role is I've got to apply some level of order to that chaos. And so I think when I play these games, I like to just kind of let that go, and let the chaos just kind of flow out there freely. And so I would say that, but I also would say that if there are abilities in the game, anything that is psionic or telekinetic in particular, I'm always going to be looking for opportunities to do that. I certainly think that I like characters that can be up close and personal over characters that maybe focus more on ranged kind of activities. So that's about as specific as I probably could be without understanding what kind of setting I was playing in. But when it comes to setting, I love things like space fantasy in particular. Big fan of that. And I'm sure there are lots of people out there that are looking forward to Starfield. So I'm cautiously optimistic about that. But something like that would be a lot of fun, I think. So again, rambling a little bit there. Tough question because it's very, very open ended. But that's probably what I would be looking for on those two different axes there. Cato Flex, will we be able to upload a custom character portrait in the Marvel Multiverse character builder? Yes, I didn't click on that earlier, but it will definitely be the case. And honestly, one of the things that we are doing in the Marvel builder that I think is really, really, pretty awesome is once we get to that point, which we're not quite there yet. So you'll even notice when I was clicking around earlier, I selected Daredevil. When that happened, Daredevil actually isn't. He wasn't selected when I came through. So basically, what is currently hooked up is you click Daredevil and then you come through to the custom character flow. Is how that is routing currently. But once we get to the point where the builder is finalized, our team is going to go through and actually build all of the characters in the game. So I think there are 130 of these characters, I think, in the core rulebook. They're going to build all of those characters. And so when you select a character, you're going to be getting, essentially creating a copy of that character to your account. So think about it kind of like a pre-gen. And so that pre-gen is going to come into the builder and you'll be able to take that character and customize it. So when our team creates these characters, we will of course upload a portrait for Daredevil in the case of what I was doing earlier. And that portrait will be there for Daredevil from the book. But if you want to replace that with Daredevil in his armored costume, couldn't resist, or any other image of Daredevil that you would rather use, you will absolutely be able to do that. You'll be able to do that for your custom characters, and so on. So yes, you will absolutely be able to do that for all of the characters that you have. I just didn't click on that button a little bit earlier. Risa Malima, if you could design a fantasy dinosaur, what would it be? I always get the dinosaur questions from Risa Malima. Thank you for that. Yeah, that's a tough question because, honestly, the way that I would say this is because, I almost feel like we are so far removed from dinosaurs being an actual thing walking the earth. There are times that they feel fantasy to me already. And so it's like, I will watch, Apple has made a really good, kind of faux documentary kind of approach that I'm sure people have seen out there. But, I will be watching that and then I will see some kind of new dinosaur creature that I've never seen before. And it looks so absurd that I think that it's not real. And then it kind of, pushes me to go and research a little bit, everything. And so, always learning, especially if it's about dinosaurs. So it would be really hard for me to say if I could design a fantasy one, what would that be? Because I almost think that they are so majestic and incredible of creatures that they're already pretty fantastical. So I'm going to give that more thought, though. I might randomly provide a better answer for that in the future at some point. Anchor 89, Werewolf books soon then. Depends on your definition of soon, but it's certainly on the list. Decron 82, any plans on the roadmap for random character generation? It's not a high priority, but it is something that I am pretty sure that we will end up with in the future. The more likely scenario, so in the past life, we ended up putting in a random character generator in those character building tools. And honestly, it was, what it ended up being was just kind of a joke time after that character came out. I remember that I played some random characters where, everybody played a random character at the table, that kind of thing. I did that in a couple of streams even. and the characters that it creates are just really terrible. They're not optimized, nothing like that. And so for us, we believe that our time will be better spent providing really good solutions for quick builds and pre-generated characters and things that are going to be possibly more optimal to use, especially if people are new players just coming into these games. And so you will absolutely expect to see the ability to just jump right in with a barbarian if you want to, in whatever that game is. But instead of that just randomly generating things, it's probably going to be a little bit more, guided and a little bit more specific than that. That's the likely experience that will happen here in the short to medium term, as opposed to random generation. But that's not to say that we wouldn't do random generation potentially at some point, because there is, something that is kind of fun about, blindly picking some of those things. Bookish Oddish, what sort of fabric pattern would be your go-to for representing Silas? Wow, interesting. Fabric pattern. Yeah, that's tough. I would say something with I would say something that is kind of more indicative of the fabrics that people movie studios have started using for superheroes, that where they try to make it look like it's spandex, but nobody wants that. Nobody wants anybody wearing spandex. And so it's not spandex, but it's like, something that looks like spandex, but a lot of times it has kind of like a hex or diamond pattern on it. I would say something like that. Unfortunately, I don't know a ton about fabric patterns. I recognize some of them when I see them, but I don't know a ton about it. But I would say something that is diamond or hexagonal, and probably oriented and kind of arranged like they would if Marvel went out and made the new X-Men films, and Wolverine had his yellow costume, how that would likely look with the patterning on that is probably something that Silas would be into. All right. That is all for the questions today. Thanks very much for had some real thought-provoking ones that did not have too much to do with the digital tools here today. But always appreciate all the questions. And then let's hear what the poll winner is here. So I'm about to share what that is. Okay, the first place answer, Masquerade Ball. I love it. Definitely, we can definitely make that one happen. And I will look through all the suggestions. I will take a look at the list. And so that's not to say that some of the other ones on the list won't make it, at least at some point. But we will make sure that there is a Masquerade Ball option for a character sheet theme, once we get the vampire character sheet ready to go. So thanks for participating in that. Thanks for all the ideas there, and we're really excited about the Marvel and vampire character tools that are coming here very soon. I can't wait to see, honestly, I can't wait to come back to friends that over the years I've said, hey, will you play vampire with me? And they say things like, is there, something like DDB for it? And then, the answer at the time is no. I can't wait to be able to come back and say, yeah, actually, there's something really great here that can get you, a character in 5 minutes. Other than spending time thinking about the concept, that sometimes takes more than 5 minutes. But that is going to be a really exciting thing. And so looking forward to that. Hope that I see you tonight on Children of Erte, new episode at 6 p.m. Pacific. Otherwise, I'm trying to think. Yes, we will certainly be back next week for the dev update. The week after that, we will not have a dev update, but we will be back next week for the launch of early access for 5e Nexus. We'll see you there. Have a good one. Later, Gators.